Everybody's at the ready for the start of knockout qualifying. What do you call a selfie when there's two people in it? Is that an Ussie? I don't know. Pole winners this year. 3 double pole winners: Chase Elliott, Kurt Busch, Carl Edwards, and Austin Dillon, Joey Logano, Kyle Busch with 1 apiece. 10 races, 6 pole winners. 10 different drivers have won poles here at Kansas Speedway. So Eric Almirola and Martin Truex still back there. Jamie, what's up?
Well, there were quite a few cars, but they all got through. The 78 was the last man standing. I just asked Cole Pern what the issue was, and he said the rear toe was off just a bit. So NASCAR had him come over. They adjusted one side, and the other side didn't adjust. So they just went through one more time, but they're clear to go, and they're going out to pit road now.
Remember, we saw them working on the rear toe during practice.
Yeah, we weren't sure if it was camber or toe, but maybe it was that toe.
Yeah, camber or toe, whatever they were working on, they were messing with it.
You're right. There.
Ryan Blaney is a man in a hurry.
Yes, he is. He wants that clean track.
3, 4, 5, 6 drivers rolling out onto the speedway with a decent gap in between.
I think it makes perfectly good sense to get out there, get your lap in, and particularly if it's a good lap, you know, your car's pretty good, and then you got a long time to sit there and let her cool down.
The only thing that would concern me is that the trucks have been on the track qualifying, and it is a slightly different rubber on the tires of the truck series.
You know what the crew chief would say? It's going to make it better.
And it's going to be a lot better. The crew chief's going to vote for everything's going to make it better.
So Martin Truex's car is out in the qualifying line. Whoa. Eric Almirola's not yet.
Saw Ryan get a little bit wide there off of turn 2.
Pushing her up next to the wall. That's a corner exit here is pretty tough, especially off of 4 over here.
Well, I like what Joey Logano was talking about being brave and really pushing the limits. You really don't know. You're guessing of what the balance and the grip level is going to be.
28.73, and Carl to the top at a 28.56.
Hold up, 8.50.
Not quite to that 35 that I was.
No, not to the 25 yet either, but I think that's pretty good. That's pretty steamy.
Denny Hamlin second, Joey Logano 4th, Allmendinger 5th. Here comes smoke. Tony Stewart 4th with a 79. Kyle Larson starting his run, as is Casey Kane.
Boy, that 14 car is running so good with Tony behind the wheel. I mean, it is really picked up.
See Larson trying to get it down to that white line, get within a couple feet.
His car just doesn't even want to go down there.
4th for Kyle Larson, 28.74. And Casey Kane 6th, 28.85.
Well, that's a big pickup from practice. They really struggled in practice, and I don't know if they ever made a qualifying run, so they've got to be fairly happy with that.
Brad Keselowski.
I love listening to the throttle at this racetrack.
Yeah, it never changes. Just
barely out of it.
Practically wide open.
Jamie McMurray 5th.
Thought he was out of it a little longer than he probably wanted to be.
Let's see what he does here.
3rd, 28.69.
Not bad.
So you were at a 45, he was at a 35, and I was at a 25, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Mike's looking good. He's nailed it on the weather, on the track temp, now on the times.
Well,
he's got us beat. How
long have you been coming up here doing this?
A long time now.
Wow, Dale Jr. got really close to the wall for turn 4. Following Trevor Bayne here down the back straightaway. Seeing cars all over the racetrack, some struggling to be on the bottom, some running the middle, a high line. It's going to be a lot of different groups here tomorrow.
Whoa, Trevor Bayne to 3rd.
Nice.
Good job.
With a 67.
Another team that is just really
turn things around.
Come alive, man.
Yes, they
Picked
have.
it up the last 3 or 4. You know when that started? Texas. We really started to talk about Trevor when they stayed out of Texas, led a bunch of laps. And,
Earnhardt 9th, Dillon 12th.
Made a big difference.
Biffle, his teammate.
The Biff. 28.70. Good run for the Biff.
I just think that whole organization has improved things.
Chase Elliott a little loose off of 2 there.
Makes a big arc into turn 3. Doesn't quite get it to the white line. It's going to be all about picking up that throttle. Not bad.
8th.
I think that should transfer through.
Yep.
That's really all you want to do right in this session, particularly, is just get to that next round.
Chris Buescher comes across 16th. Remember, the top 24 transferred to round 2.
Danica's putting a really nice lap together here. She really got through 3 and 4. Look at that. Or 1 and 2. She really got through there good. Maybe slipped up a little bit through 3 and 4. Maybe got a little bit greedy with the throttle, but still great run in 5th.
She runs really well here.
I enjoyed Regan Smith on Race Hub earlier this week. He was going through what happened to Dale Earnhardt Jr. and the steering wheel hub. They had some great close-ups of that steering shaft, and he gave a great explanation of what happened and how it all happened on NASCAR Race Hub on FS1. Smith's going to be 19th.
Guys, you see Kevin Harvick coming to complete his lap, and I talked to Rodney Childers, his crew chief, between practice and qualifying. He said whether it's his small spoiler, adding tape on the nose, it's pinning the nose, or whether it's this tire combination, normally here from race trim to qualifying trim, they have to tighten the car up about 1.5 to 2%. He said, Larry, we are 4 to 5% tighter for qualifying and still on the free side.
Yeah,
I'm wondering if they went too far with it, Larry. I don't know if he was tight or loose there, but obviously not the lap they're looking for. Jamie?
Yeah, Jeff, I know there was some question. I questioned him, did you guys do a mock qualifying run for Kevin Harvick? And he told me, yes, at the very end we did, but it was so terrible. It was only good enough for 30th on the board. They were so extremely loose, and Kevin just shook his head and said his car is not happy this weekend.
No, he was 15th, now 16th.
Very unusual for that bunch.
I've seen this act before, though. I forget what race it was. They qualified pretty poorly, but they came out the next day and they had their right setup in that baby. I think
Matt DiBenedetto 21st, knocks out Joey Gase.
And look at this.
And Kurt Busch, a 51, top of the chart. Clint Boyer 20th. That moves David Reagan to the hot seat. And now Reagan is out. Paul Menard 11th. DiBenedetto now on the bubble. Jimmy Johnson starting his lap.
Boy, whatever issues Harvick's dealing with, Kurt Busch certainly is not. I mean, they've been on the pole 2.5 miles already this year.
Jimmy's car looked a little shaky getting into turn 1.
Green light on Matt Kenseth.
Very good here in 3 and 4.
Third for Johnson, 28.59.
Yeah, but look at this.
Matt Kenseth. What Matt's got here.
Going to clean him out here.
Man,
Whoa, by
wow.
a 1/10 of a second.
Whoa,
28.41 for
closer.
Kenseth.
Now, I think the only one out there that might be able to do something with this, has Truex been out yet?
No,
he's not been out yet. I think he's the only one that might be able to flirt with that lap time of Matt Kenseth.
Ricky Stenhouse, 21st.
Newman just went by. He was pretty good in practice. See what he can lay down.
Never count him out qualifying.
And Kyle Busch on the clock.
Kyle Busch, still some fast cars going.
Didn't make it down to the white line.
No, he's way up there.
Whoa!
Not
close.
Good.
Man, he didn't want to get out of the gas, did he?
No.
How he did not wreck that
Casey
car.
Mears, 23rd. That puts Chris Buescher on the bubble to advance.
Boy, that car must be tight because it looks like it's really running up the track.
Newman 6th. That bumps Buescher.
How did he still qualify 4th?
Kyle Busch 4th.
Look at that.
That is unbelievable.
Kyle Busch knocks out Casey Mears.
This is amazing.
And now Truex. Allmendinger on the hot seat.
I saw him get a little bit wide. He never made it down to the bottom. He almost gets up into the gray.
He's in the
Has
gray.
to turn off the wall.
Wow.
You know what else he never did? He never lifted.
No, it happened so late, I really don't think he had to lift.
See what Truex has got here.
It's close.
Allmendinger 24th right now. And Martin Truex, second fastest, 28.45. That moves Ricky Stenhouse onto the bubble. And we'll switch our tracker to 24th position. So the times you see next will be versus Stenhouse. And now Austin Dillon goes on the bubble. Stenhouse is out. Almirola to 7th. Matt?
Mike, trouble for the 43 back at inspection. They failed 3 times in 2 different areas, the grid and the LIS machine. Trent Owen told me that he simply was just trying to be aggressive, trying to get all he could legally, and so they had to make some adjustments. They're all good.
There's his teammate, Brian Scott. 24th is Austin Dillon, and that's what these times are compared to.
Yeah, the 2 cars that really struggled to get through Tech late there was the 78 Truex second and the 43 of Almirola. He's 7th. So whenever they had problems, they got it.
Brian Scott 23rd. That moves Harvick to the bubble.
Yeah, I don't think anybody anticipated that. I'm pretty sure they're going to have to go a second time just to be safe. I look at Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 26, Allmendinger in 27. There's definitely some cars that are going to go back out. Austin Dillon as well. So there's a good chance some could make some adjustments and go back out that second time and knock Harvick outside the top 24.
Reed Soren 40th, right about where he practiced.
Yeah, you've got to go back out and try to at least try to get in the top 20.
But it will now be a waiting game. There's 9.5 minutes left in this session, and everybody wants maximum cool down time before they go back out, try to make that second run.
Hey, Larry, we heard Matt talking about going through, inspection and trying to get everything they could. Tell us about what those options are. What could they be doing there or trying there to get everything out of it?
Well, I know the 43 in one area, they had to work in front of the right rear tire on the quarter panel. I was down there when that was going on, and obviously anything you do to the body at a place like this is trying to gain more downforce, and Matt said that's one of the areas that they failed. But we all know, especially at a racetrack like this where you don't have a lot of banking and you're carrying such speed, the rear toe, the skew, you're trying to get everything you can. And to the point I heard made about the 78 car, it's like you kind of repair it on one side and then all of a sudden it throws the other side off. So you don't want to give anything up, but it's absolutely for these crew chiefs in all the inspection areas like walking a tightrope.
Yeah, that's great info, and that's your job as a crew chief, is to do exactly that. And all the crew members and engineers taking these cars through inspection, you can't give up anything.
And they do it with lasers.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, MLB returns to FS1. 2 monster games with some of baseball's best players. Rangers, Tigers. That's a game you can only see on FS1. And then the Nationals try to win one from the Cubbies, who won today 8-6, 5th win in a row. That game at Wrigley. Action begins at 12:30 Eastern here on FS1, or you can watch live on Fox Sports Go. Joey Logano, currently 22nd, is going out for a second run.
2-2.
Between him and Harvick and some other names back there, 25th, Austin Dillon, 26th, Stenhouse. I mean, this is a surprise. Certainly this one. I mean, because he was on the pole here a year ago.
And he came up on the track there on that transition from the apron to the track. That was pretty abrupt.
I just have to believe that the conditions, not so much track temperature, but just when everything cools down, they put new tires on, tape up, and do all the little finishing touches, go through inspection, that maybe the grip level threw a few off, and sometimes you can push a little too hard and cost yourself a lot of time.
Logano's first lap was 28.86. That was only 4 1/1000ths faster than Harvick, so this lap looks like it will be quicker.
Yeah, but he got up a little high right there.
Real high lap. I don't know if he meant to do that. Didn't cost him too much time, actually making some time up.
Yeah, he got up there and it didn't seem to slow him down.
He may be top dozen. Whoa, 7th, 28.60.
Well, we know there's speed in the tires. You can go out a second time.
Yeah, I felt like the tires were going to hold on pretty good.
I guarantee you that's getting a lot of attention, and that high line that he ran through 3 and 4.
Well, and that's what he did during practice. You can't win if you don't advance. So Logano, who was 22nd, looked like he was going to transfer, has made that second run. Here comes Austin Dillon, who was the last car to have his bubble burst. He is 25th, 1 spot away. He needs a lap that is 23 1/1000ths quicker than his last one.
These teams always amaze me, and the drivers too. in practice, the fastest time we saw was about, what, I think a 28.77. Now a 28.89 that Austin Dillon ran was 25th in that first round.
Yeah.
I mean, they pick up so much when it comes time to do it on the clock.
Tape, tires, tune up, and pat the driver on the back and say, you can do it.
Well, he's trying to burst Kevin Harvick's bubble, and it's going to be close.
Oh, I think he's going to do it.
Jamie?
And it's surprising he was 25th after that first run. He's qualified in the top 10 all 3.5-mile tracks. So they made a wedge and air pressure adjustment to help the car here. And he even asked his crew chief, should I change my driving style and be more like Newman? And Slugger said, I can't answer that.
Whoa, fourth fastest.
Yeah. Just do that.
Yeah.
This might intensify more than we anticipated if they're picking up that much their second time out.
Michael McDowell's out there, and here's Kevin Harvick,
but
who is one spot away.
You know, Jeff, you'd like to have that run in the next go-round.
Oh, yeah.
But you got to get to the next go-round. Now, unlike some of the others we've heard, he never got all the way out of the throttle.
Yeah, but it wiggled a little bit. You could tell he's just a little hesitant turning the car down in the corner.
But you never hear him back all the way out like we've heard some. He kind of keeps a little throttle in the car.
I don't think this is, it's just creeping in there. It didn't look like he was going to.
Might make it up.
23rd.
He jumps 2 spots to 23rd. He is ahead of Casey Kane by 1/1000th of a second. Kane on the bubble now. Brian Scott is bumped. Joey Gase out for a second run in the 32. A little slower, about half a tenth. Here's A.J. Allmendinger. He had a 28.92. It's going to take a 28.85 to bump in.
Tell you the one that I think you have to watch here is this one right here, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He's qualified good all year long. They've improved their program. He's going to get a second shot at it.
Yeah, his teammate Trevor Baynes up there in 6th.
Sparks coming off the right side of that.
Biffle's 15th, so you'd think there'd be a little speed in that thing.
Now, Allmendinger's run was 7/100ths slower than his first lap. He will not advance. Chris Buescher back out.
No.
And here's Stenhouse.
I don't think it's going to be so hot.
Well, 10th.
Hey, I don't think it's going to be so good.
28.62.
Wow.
Casey Kane is bumped. Harvick on the hot seat. Chris Buescher looks like he may bump in from 30th spot. 3 minutes to go.
There's something going on in the middle of 3 and 4. We saw Logano do it. We saw Harvick do it. Now we just saw Stenhouse. Look at that. Buescher sneaking in.
He's in. He's 23rd. Harvick is out. Earnhardt on the bubble.
You know, I think the track has picked up, because when we started to right now, it's only been 20 minutes, but I think the track is picking up.
Could it be? It's not the sun. It's not the shade. Could it be, in part, the difference between the Truck Series rubber and the Cup Series rubber?
It could be that. It also could be maybe these tires like to get a little bit of heat in them and a little bit of air pressure. And maybe it's just the grip level threw some drivers off that first time, and they just maybe either tried a little too hard, or maybe there's more grip than they anticipated.
I just think the track has picked up. But Mike, the Goodyear tires on the trucks, they're not that different than what we're running in the Cup Series. So I don't think that would be much of a factor.
Casey Kane slower on his second run. Matt?
Mike, I talked to the Goodyear engineers and also a couple crew chiefs, and comparing this tire to what we had here last year, they said last year, as Jeff mentioned, you put a heat cycle on a set of tires and it would actually get faster. And a couple crew chiefs told me they didn't see that during practice today. That's why they're watching and seeing and trying to learn. Maybe we might see that during this practice and qualifying stuff here today.
Whoa, Matt DiBenedetto jumps in there. 28.77, knocking out Dale Earnhardt Jr. Chris Buescher on the bubble. Here's Casey Mears, a little slower, as was Regan Smith and Clint Boyer. Landon Castle and David Reagan out there now with 1.5 minutes to go. Earnhardt 1 spot away. Yeah, rolls down to turn 1.
This right here is why I love this knockout qualifying. When you have a tire and a track like this where you can go back out that second time and find that much speed, search around the racetrack, whatever it is, heat cycle, that's awesome. That makes a lot of excitement.
I can't tell you how many times I've said, man, if I could just do that over. Well, now you can.
Yep. Landon Castle a little slower. Harvick heads back out. Cole Witt on a lap. And Brian Scott a little slower. Michael Annett also making a run.
I believe Junior can get it in. I think he'll
He certainly got off at turn 4 really good. You can see that.
I think based on what we've been seeing, I think they adjusted the car up a little bit. It looks a little better in 3 and 1 and 2.
A little loose right there.
But he was 3.5 hundredths the wrong way. He's got to get. There he goes.
Back. He's coming back.
Harvick's lap will count. 20 seconds to the flags.
Oh man, this is going to be close. It's coming. Look at that.
Maybe,
Boy, he really got off both corners well. Yes.
Yes, 19th for Earnhardt. Buescher is out. Tony Stewart to the bubble. Let's see if Harvick can knock out his boss.
Everybody has moved up high in 3 and 4 now.
No, slower. So Tony Stewart will be the last driver to advance at a 28.79. Now don't feel too bad from Harvick. 3 of his last 4 wins came from a starting spot 15th or further back.
Yep.
40 cars took time. 24 drivers move on to round 2. Kevin Harvick knocked out, 26th fastest. So he'll line up in row 13 tomorrow night for the GoBowling.com 400 next to rookie Chris Buescher. Casey Kane with Brian Scott, Allmendinger, McDowell, and on back through the rest of the 40-car field. Let's hear from a couple of the fellows who won't be moving on to round 2. Matt.
Mike, Chris Buescher just missed making it to the next round. So you just finished your debrief with Bob Osborne. What stood out to you most of what hurt you during round 1?
Just turn 3 and 4. We've been really good through 1 and 2 all weekend. Looking at everything that we can, and Dartfish looks really good over there. Kind of bummed that we missed the second round. I really thought we could get into it with our dockside logistics Ford. It's something I really thought we were definitely close. So I hate that we don't get to participate, but you guys did a good job. The car's definitely got good drivability in it. Just looking for that little bit of speed to push us up there.
Thanks, Chris. Jamie?
Kevin Harvick ran the most laps there. 5 laps and 26 was as good as it was going to get. What was the biggest issue there?
Just plowing the front tires like crazy. Our Jimmy John's Chevrolet was terrible in qualifying trim and practice, and it continued that trend in qualifying today. So hopefully the extra time that we spent in race trim pays off for us.
Thanks, Jamie. Let's look at the drivers who will move on to round 2. And again, we'll cut this group in half for the final round. Matt Kenseth, Martin Truex, Toyota's top of the chart, then 2 Chevrolets, then 2 Toyotas, then a Chevy, then 3 Fords in the top 10. Five of the drivers moving on made 2 runs to get there. So round 2 of knockout qualifying coming up. Welcome back to Kansas. Here's our Can-Am Ride of the Week. Here's who we're looking at for the poll. Kurt Busch, Matt Kenseth, Jimmy Johnson, Martin Truex Jr.
I know. I think that, you know, I went with Kurt Busch. He's been on 2 poles at the mile and a half this year. He's right up there at the top with 3rd. I am surprised none of us went with Kyle Busch. As fast as he went with the little bobble off of turn 2, it's a good chance he could sneak up there and steal this one from all of us.
That's right.
I think this is going to be a Matt Kenseth weekend. I think this is a weekend when he gets it all turned around, wins the pole, wins the race. Of course, I said that last week, and the next thing I know, he was upside down. So
well, we know it's coming. It's coming.
That's right.
I mean, he's running too good. There's no way that that's going to stick throughout the whole year.
Yeah, he's definitely at the top of the win one soon list. Martin Truex not too far below him.
But Jeff and I were talking. We feel like that conversation he and Joey Logano had, that just clears the air and gets that over from hanging over your head, and now you can go out there and do your job.
Karma.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer in karma, and I think that might have just released some of that karma and put it back on their side.
I like that.
Maybe for both of them.
I like that.
Your karma hit my dogma. Round 2. 10 minutes. Half, 12 advance. Track's open, and here they come.
Tearing out there.
Ryan Blaney's going to.
Oh, he was first one out first session. He's back out there again.
I'm seeing a little bit of shade creeping over the wall to the entrance of turn 1. That may be a little helpful.
This track is getting right now.
Yeah, I think round 3, we're definitely going to see that shade become a factor down in turn 1. An enhancement.
Who had 28-25?
I did.
Not looking bad.
I don't know.
That's
We'll see.
pretty
We'll
good.
know here pretty quick. They start creeping down in the, below the 41 that we saw that last time.
Last year's pole for the May race, 28.067. In October, 27.621.
Well, that's fast.
I think one thing that's really helped these guys is they saw that middle groove in 3 and 4. You see where the 21 is now. That really woke up a bunch of cars that we saw running up there. It seemed like it really helped their lap time.
Yeah, it just seems like this aero package, maybe they're having a little bit of difficulty getting back to the throttle and keeping the car down on the white line all the way through 3 and 4.
28.39. We're in the 30s. Denny Hamlin. 48 for Blaney. 63 for Stewart. 57 for Chase Elliott, third. Trevor Bayne. 54. He is third. Kyle Larson, sixth with a 64.
Comes Danica. I think she's just starting her lap.
Yeah.
Had a good first session there, and see what she can do this time.
Hey guys, this is not tires. This is not air pressure. This racetrack is just getting speed. I think we saw it at the end of round 1.
I think you're right, Larry. It just picked up. It's cooled off enough. It's really, really almost perfect right now.
Yeah, the angle of that sun is really going down, so it certainly can't be hitting the track at the same.
Well, Hamlin's lap in the 30s. That knocks me out. I had the 40s. Jeff had the 30s. Darrell has the 20s. Whoa!
Getting closer.
Come on, baby, come on.
28-31, Matt Kenseth.
That might be as good as it's going to get right there.
Well, Truex hasn't gone, neither has Kurt Busch. Or Kyle Busch.
So if I took a 25 and you took a 35, then we would tie if it was a 30, right?
Right. Anything starts with a 3 is his.
We haven't clarified
Anything
the
starts
rules.
with a 2 is yours.
That's what I love about Jeff. It doesn't matter what we do. It's competition, baby. It's
right.
competition.
Ryan Newman, Martin Truex, Jimmy Johnson rolling.
Well, here comes the 78 off turn 4 to come take the green, see what he can do.
It's interesting. Truex coming to the green didn't run the high line like we've seen a lot of others and gain that momentum off the top line. He's just nailed right to the bottom on the white line at both ends.
Yeah, same thing here. It's right on the bottom. But it looks like it's working
that
for
thing
him.
is just stuck down there.
It is.
But not the speed, though, that we saw to Kenseth.
Third for Truex, 28.43.
Good lap.
And Jimmy Johnson, 10th, 28.61. Might be tough to advance with that. Here comes Kurt Busch. Danica Patrick is out. Kyle Larson on the bubble now. Matt?
Could be an interesting round for Kurt Busch now on pole at both Las Vegas and Atlanta. Tony Gibson told me the car was just too free. Kurt worked the track bar adjuster on that first segment, but right now he tightened it up just a little bit. He'd rather have it more on the tight side than the free side for this round.
Got that right. When you attack that corner, you don't want that thing loose.
Third for Kurt Busch, 28.42. Jamie Mack will be 14th. So Larson is out. Stewart on the bubble, and here comes Carl.
That 31 is going to be pretty hard to beat, looks to me like, in this round.
That's a really solid lap.
And I don't know if these tires are good for another, if that may be as good as it's going to get.
Well, it might be like Larry mentioned, though. Is it the tires or is it the track? If the track continues to cool down and gain grip, there's a good chance those tires will hold up.
I agree.
Carl Edwards will probably be top half dozen with this run. There he is, 6th, 28.51.
Is that a half a dozen? 6.
Where I shop? Yes. Paul Menard. Stewart is out. Jimmy Johnson on the bubble now.
So far, we've seen it. What every driver pick up a little bit from round 1, other than the 10 and the 48. I think that goes right back to what Larry McReynolds was saying. This track is definitely picked up. See what Austin Dillon can do. His 3rd time out on this set of tires.
Looked a little tight off 2 there. He got pretty wide. See what he does here in 3 and 4.
So Menard 11th, bumps Johnson. Chase Elliott goes to the bubble now. And Dillon is not going to bump in. 15th for Austin.
What about Logano? Come and start his lap.
Yeah, he definitely got his car better on that 2nd time out in the 1st round. Let's see if he can back that up here.
And now you have to beat Chase Elliott's 28.57.
Looking pretty good right
Logano's
there.
looking a lot better.
I like
losing time there.
See that, do you see that back end kind of swing out when he made the turn?
13th. So Logano does not bump Chase Elliott. We'll change the ticker to Elliott's 12th spot. There's the time to beat.
Yeah, Biffle's flirting with it here. Got a little loose late off of 4.
The Biff 19th. So Chase Elliott holding on. Dale Earnhardt Jr. on the clock now. You saw that onboard shot. The Hendrick cars have switched brands of steering wheel couplers after last week at Talladega. That's a sweet coupler there. Most short trackers very familiar with that.
Boy, he's right on the bottom.
Hey, look at Matt DiBenedetto. He's in the he was in the green again.
Come on, buddy. He had it.
You gotta like surprises. Whoa, Earnhardt 21st.
You could just see his hands wiggle inside there on the steering wheel as he would get back to the throttle. The car seemed to over-rotate just a little bit back to the throttle.
Yeah, last week he complained about the car being on the splitter, and he complained about it again today. I don't know if that's what happened in qualifying or not, but something definitely not
Ricky
right.
Stenhouse.
DiBenedetto 23rd. Chase Elliott still on the bubble. Ricky Stenhouse trying to burst it.
He's working.
Got a shot.
He's working
I
it.
think he might do it.
Got a little bit in the bank here.
He's there.
Come on.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Sixth for Stenhouse. Nice run. Well, that knocks out Chase Elliott, and Paul Menard moves on to the hot seat.
Hey, guys, look at the top 10. What do you see there? And I'm going to give you a hint. It has to do with Kurt Busch and the make of automobile he's driving.
Wow, no Chevrolets but Kurt.
Not in the top 10, only 3 in the top dozen. Matt?
3 poles here for the 48, but he has to work to try to have another shot, Mike. He said on his previous run the car was just too tight on entry into turn 3. Then he had to pedal it and work the throttle to try to pick up speed. He knew it would not be good. And like you mentioned, the 48 and 88, the 2 of the 4 Hendrick cars using the new couplers.
Thanks. Johnson needs to get to 28.57, and no, he's slower, 28.72.
Slow down.
Here's Patrick, 28.90 on her first lap in this session, trying to bump Chase Elliott.
Tell you what, I'm more and more impressed with what Ricky Stenhouse Jr. just did there. I mean, of all the cars that have been out 3 times on this set of tires, he's the only one that's picked up.
Chase Elliott trying to bump back in. He is about 2/100ths shy of Paul Menard on his first lap. Nope. Not quicker. 10th and a half off on this lap. Kyle Larson from a 64 needs to get to a 55.
Oh man, he was green going into turn 3. Like he lost a little bit coming off of 4.
And he equals his first lap time, which won't quite be enough. Jamie McMurray from a 73 to an 88. Stewart, Dillon, Almirola trying to make it to finish this lap.
3, 2, 1. Cloud expires for round 2. All cars can come back, all cars.
Dillon ran an 80. That's not enough.
What about Morello? Here's coming to the line.
Trying to beat Paul Menard's 55. Biffle will be the last car. Almirola slower.
Didn't do it.
An 83 to a 66. Logano
Logano's
slower.
close.
Menard slower, but still 12th. And Biffle slower.
You know, it just seems to me like everybody didn't get everything out of it the very first time out on the track in that round 1. And then you saw a few get more out of it the second time they went out. And then this time they realized what the grip level was and how hard they could push it.
So Menard, one of only 3 Chevys to advance. Top 12 into the final round. Round 2 is in the books, and here's who will earn positions 13 through 24, and that includes all of the Hendrick drivers. First time since Darlington last September that no Hendrick Chevrolet has made it into the final round.
And there's 4 Fords in the top 12. That's different.
Yeah. Matt?
Jimmy Johns will roll off 15th tomorrow. So, Jimmy, your first run, it was turn 3. The second run was at turn 1 that cost you time?
I felt like I struggled getting into turn 3, the second outing. Well, yes, yeah, this is the second round, the first outing, you're right. And then down here, it was on the splitter getting in there that final time. So I hate we didn't get it the first time through. I had a great 1 and 2. We didn't have much time to cool the tires off to try again there at the end, and it certainly didn't put up any more speed. But we've got a great Lowe's Chevrolet. A bit of adversity to fight through today, but still a very fast race car, and I think that one that's going to race really well tomorrow night.
Thanks, Tim. Thanks.
And Joey Logano turned 6 laps, 14th on the board. Joey, where were you guys just missing it, do you feel like, in that second round?
We got on both ends of it, and it seems like it's such a razor's edge today with our race car and making it good. We can be on both sides of the fence, just hard to be right on it, and we fought the same things in qualifying. We were too loose and too tight, and just it just takes, like I said in practice earlier, it's just the smallest little bit makes a lot of speed at this racetrack. And we started 14th in the fall here, and we won. So I'm still confident about our race car and race trim. It feels very good in race trim. Just we got to figure out our qualifying thing here. It seems like the last few times here we haven't qualified as well as we feel like we should. So have to go back and kind of maybe come up with a different outlook on it.
Well, he's optimistic, and he should be. He won 2 of the last 3 races here.
That's right. Second in round 2 is Denny Hamlin. He's today's K&N driver profile. And that is quite a mark. He is the only driver to make it into the final round of qualifying for every race this season. 11 in a row. Well, 6 of the last 10 Kansas races have been won from 12th or worse, but the other 4 were all won from a front 4 spot. Who'll get them? Coming up next, the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. Always exciting. John West Townley is on the pole, and rookie sensation William Byron starts on the outside of the front row. Tonight on FS1, or watch it live on Fox Sports Go. There are the 2 front row starters. Townley on the right, Byron on the left, as they are ready to roll. All right, here are your 12 drivers, one of whom will win the Coors Light pole. Will it be Matt Kenseth or Matt Kenseth or Matt Kenseth?
It could be one of those.
Yeah, I think so.
If it's not Matt Kenseth or Brad Keselowski, it's going to be their first pole here at Kansas.
So far, Matt's been the fastest both rounds, so we'll see what he does here, third round.
3 Chevrolets, 4 Fords, and 5 Toyotas will run for the pole. And Ryan Blaney does not jump right out there. Instead,
something changed. What happened?
Instead, it's Denny Hamlin. Strategy.
Well, the 21, he's going to see what he's got to beat. That's what he's doing this time.
That's what I always like that strategy in this final round. Let other cars go out there, see what the grip level is in the track. Maybe that sun goes down a little bit more, even cools the track down a little bit more. Jamie, what do you have?
Denny Hamlin has this qualifying thing down pat. He's the only driver who's made it to the final round every single race this year. Now, I was just standing here and watched him make a wedge adjustment and air pressure adjustment to try to catch his teammate. And if he does so, it would be his first pole here at Kansas.
Well, in the last, let's see, 10 Kansas races, you needed to start from 12th or further back or in the first 4 to get to victory lane.
Smoking that left rear, Jeff.
Wow, a lot of smoke.
Yeah. A little tire rub there.
I'm just wondering if that adjustment that Jamie talked about, if it didn't do something to lower that car down a little bit on the left rear.
A little wee bit.
Or he's just really getting after it and carrying a lot of speed here.
Could be an air pressure adjustment, too.
Look better in 3 and 4. 28-36.
Martin Truex has something to say about that.
28.
Oh.
Darrell wins.
Darrell does win.
That my man.
Again.
and no, it might go lower now because Matt hadn't gone yet. So.
Oh, I think it might.
So your pick of 28-25 is the winning pick.
I like that. Now, what did I win, y'all? What did I win?
Mike went with the 45. Here's what you won. Pat on the back, buddy. Great job.
A new car.
Checks in the mail.
Hey, guys, while y'all are patting each other on the back, I think these drivers know it's one shot. And I think that's why so many of them are going to wait it out. Maybe this track cools down just a little bit more with a little more grip.
I think you're right, Larry.
Absolutely think you're right.
Darrell, you were so spot on. We're going to invite you back for tomorrow night.
Watch that tracker right down there, the 20 of Matt Kenseth, continuing to increase. Uh-oh.
Going the wrong way.
Whoops. We had a whoops.
Have to really hit 3 and 4. But he got off at 3 and 4 so good coming to the green.
4, 5, 6, 107.
No, not going to do it.
Turn 3 is Matt Kenseth's undoing.
Well, it's coming back.
It's coming back, though.
Not
hurry,
enough,
hurry.
Second. By 5/100ths of a second.
Don't count this cat out.
No.
Been pretty good today.
Can we go back to our Can-Am Ride of the Week picks?
He went turn 1 pretty hard. Didn't get off of turn 2 bad, but so far he's going to need to pick it up a little bit down here, running a higher line, maybe carry
really
some
high.
momentum off of 4.
Woo, maybe too high.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yikes.
Kurt Busch is 4th, 28-40. Kyle Busch and Brad Keselowski. Looks like turn 1 and 2. Everybody's working fine compared to Martin Truex, but not nearly as well in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, it looks
Keselowski
like,
5th.
Looks like they just carry a lot of speed off of turn 4 coming to the green. That carries them to about the middle 1 and 2, but then they just can't get off of turn 2 well enough to maintain that.
And I think that's the tires. Once you've got this many, 3 or 4 laps on your tires, you can make 1 and 2, but then they just can't hold the grip. And
Carl turned down to the bottom. That looked really good to the middle.
Kyle Busch clocked in 6th. The gap building on Edwards.
Trevor Bayne losing a little bit off of turn 2.
Yeah.
Blaney's finally gotten out there.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the last to qualify instead of he was first in the first 2 rounds.
I think that 1 and 2 is a shaded, got just enough of shade on it. It's a little better, but then 3 and 4 still got bright sun on it.
Ryan Newman 7th, Trevor Bayne 8th. And Ryan Blaney 7th. 2 cars to go. Stenhouse and Menard.
Still sparking there out of the right.
Oh, yeah, he did that earlier today, big time.
Yeah, everybody's green going into turn 1.
Yeah.
I think that's just the tires. Once you get through 1 and 2 pretty good, then the tires are just giving up.
Yeah, you can run wide open just about coming through 3 and 4 to take the green.
Stenhouse is 9th. And Paul Menard is 11th.
I don't know what it is, but he loves this place. I can tell you that.
8th career pole for Martin Truex Jr. Last pole came at Texas in April of 2012, 147 races ago. Matt, he's the 7th different pole winner this year.
Last year he started outside pole 3 times. Now your first pole in 4 years. Obviously just building confidence with you and this team.
Yeah, for sure. It's we've been close, the past couple years, like you said. Feel like we made some mistakes throughout qualifying. Kind of took us a little while to figure out this 3-round deal. And just really proud of all the guys. They worked really hard today. Really proud of everybody at TRD Toyota for all they're doing for us on the engine side, and everybody at JGR for all the help they've been giving us. And things have just really been going well for us and clicking well, and fast race cars and an awesome race team. So got to thank everybody, especially Bass Pro Shops, Tracker Boats, all those folks. And looking forward to seeing Johnny here tomorrow night in JP, and hopefully we'll give him something to celebrate.
Confidence is high, but also motivation, because this is a place where a couple of races got away from you.
Yeah, a few. That's part of racing. That's, sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, I guess. Unfortunately, I've been the bug more times than most, but love this racetrack. We've really been able to perform well here, even in years when it seemed like our cars maybe weren't as good as some of the guys we were racing against. So looking forward to tomorrow night. I thought we had a really good race car today. I thought we needed a few tweaks to be real good, but we'll get to work on it tonight. And just got to thank everybody. Can't thank them, all these guys enough. They're doing just a fantastic job, and we'll see if we can't use this as momentum. That first pit stall's awful good.
With this speed, it looks like it'll be the windshield tomorrow night.
Remember that song? Mark Knopfler of Dire Straits wrote it, and Mary Chapin Carpenter had a big hit with it.
Yeah, I remember that.
Sometimes you're the windshield, sometimes you're the bug.
You remember that, don't you?
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Welcome back to Kansas, where Martin Truex Jr. has his first pole of the year, and Matt Kenseth, who dominated practice, has his 3rd front row start. Jamie.
A good car, good starting position for Matt Kenseth, 3rd time starting on the front row. So different tire here, different aero package. What kind of racing do you think we're going to see here tomorrow night?
I think you're going to see a good race. The track's got really wide already today, just for practice. It seems to be packing a lot of rubber in. I think you're going to see cars all the way up against the fence. So I think it's going to be a good race.
The talk this week, Joey gave you a call. Finally, you two talked about it. What does that do for a driver, just to put something like that away, bury the hatchet, move on, and not have to worry about your rear view mirror?
Yeah, I mean, we had a good talk. I'm glad we communicated a little bit, and I think it's behind both of us, and hopefully we can just move forward. So. Just want to say hey to everybody at Joe Gibbs Racing for giving us these fast Toyotas. I feel bad I couldn't get it done. We came up 2nd today, but all the cars are really fast, and we're already looking forward to tomorrow.
All right, starting next to his teammate, the 78, Matt Kenseth. Matt?
Impressive debut for a brand new race car in the 41 stable. Kurt Busch will roll off in the top 5 tomorrow night. So when you look back to this qualifying session, especially the final round, what could you have done more, or the team could have done better to score a pole?
I told him right down the driver needs to get 3 and 4 done better so that our lap time can improve. I felt like I overdrove turn 3, and I could feel the engine balk down a little bit off of 4 just because I killed the speed. I killed the momentum of the car. I didn't quite carry it smoothly through 3 and 4. 1 and 2 was all right, but all in all, the Haas Automation, Monster Energy Chevy, feels good to be the top Chevy. Congrats to Truex and those 78 guys. When we were out here a few years back, there's something special about racing in Colorado and calling this your home track. It just means you're going to go faster. But we feel good with our car right now. We made 3 spring changes going into this qualifying run, and we'll probably leave those 3 in it for the race tomorrow.
Thanks, Kurt.
Well, the trend says he'll be in the top 10 here tomorrow night. The trucks are coming. The Camping World Truck Series. John West Townley on the pole. We'll wrap up here in a bit. Let's have a look at the starting lineup for tomorrow night's GoBowling.com 400. Toyota's 1, 2, 3. Kurt Busch, the fastest Chevy. Brad Keselowski, the fastest Ford. And for only the first time in almost a year, 2 Roush cars starting in the top 10, Stenhouse and Bain. They're in row 5.
I find it a very interesting grid lineup.
I do too.
I mean,
I
there's some that I thought we were going to be higher up that are not. There's some that are higher up there that I didn't expect.
Yeah, I like Menard being up there and Bain being up there. Those are in Stenhouse.
Matt DiBenedetto, nice job there.
Great run today.
Here's the one I didn't expect. Kevin Harvick and Casey Kane be that far back.
Those
Second
guys
week in
have
a row for
struggled.
Harvick.
Yeah, they've struggled in practice and qualifying.
Now there's your 40 driver lineup. One of the big surprises in the final round is that Carl Edwards ended up 12th. Jamie.
Well, Carl Edwards qualified 12th today. You and your teammates fast all day in practice. Now, after that qualifying run, though, you said, okay, we took care of one problem, but we created another. Where were you kind of lacking something in your car?
So I got a little bit tight in 1 and 2, and it was screaming to the middle of 1 and 2. It was fast. It came to the green really well and went into 1 well, but I think we just over-adjusted it. But it's cool, man. My guys, they aren't scared to make changes, and we swung for the fence, and I probably got on throttle a little bit too hard, but man, when those guys put up those times, you know, like Truex is a 28, that's screaming fast, so I was going for it. But we got a great car to race, and you know, our Stanley Toyota should be pretty good, and race trim we were good, so we'll just go racing.
Home racetrack, you got to stand on it and get excited, right?
I wouldn't have been able to sleep if I didn't try my hardest, so pretty cool day for JGR. Thank you.
Martin Truex Jr. signs for the fans after becoming the 14th different pole winner at Kansas Speedway. Martin Truex becomes the 7th different pole winner this season in the 10 races in which we've had qualifying. Joe Gibbs Racing again with all their cars in the top dozen. Here's Matt.
Kyle Busch will roll off in the 6th position. When you look back to this year, the trends that you're setting, Texas, you'd never won there before. You scored a win. Martinsville, same thing. You've never won here. Do you like the feel that you're seeing so far, the trends here in Kansas?
I like what I'm seeing this year, but not quite yet in Kansas. You know, we're okay. Our Make M Laugh Camry, Red Nose Day Camry has been pretty good. We've been okay. We just haven't quite shown the comfort that I'd like to have here at Kansas, which is sort of the norm for me here. So I have no idea what it is. I've tried to learn everything I could possibly do by looking at all the data and the setup sheets and everything else. And Adam and I think we're a lot closer than what we thought we'd be when we got here. So that's good. I feel like all of our Joe Gibbs Racing cars have really good speed, though. The Toyota Camrys seem to be fast. So you know, we're really looking forward to having a good weekend here, hopefully having a strong showing. I didn't run this race last year, but being in the Red Nose Camry, it's going to be fun. We look forward to raising a ton of money for children in poverty, and for those that want to help out can go on Twitter and hashtag #MakeMLaugh and be a part of our program. Thanks.
Thanks, KB.
Ryan Blaney qualified 7th. Your 3rd time here. You're finally coming back to tracks now for a 2nd and 3rd time. How beneficial is that for you?
It helps out a lot. You know, we ran the fall race here last year, and you know, granted, it was a day race to this night race. Qualifying was about the same temperature, so it's good to kind of get some repetition, and we can go back and look at our notes from last year and kind of apply that to this year. Even though it's a whole new rules package, the same things kind of still apply. So just a decent run for us, good starting position. I got to thank, you know, Ford, Motorcraft, and Quick Lane for all that they do. And I'm excited for tomorrow. It's going to be some fun racing under the lights, and Kansas is one of my favorite racetracks, so I'm excited to get going tomorrow.
All right, 777's 3rd time he started 7th this year. I think that's good luck.
Yeah, 2nd fastest Ford. Martin Truex's car has cleared post-qualifying inspection. Well, one last thing to do there.